Ay, 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 ay. Let me know if you're hearing me now. You should be hearing me now. People, good night again. I have an important question tonight. Why does Jamaica fail to attract big name players? Um, when Steve McClaren is the audio should be working now. The audio should be working now. The audio should be working now. Okay. Why does Jamaica fail to attract big name players? We remember when Steve McClaren came in, a lot of Jamaican fans thought that Steve McClaren would have been the man to usher in a new era in Jamaican football, bridging the gap between the English based players, getting them in the national team. One of those players was Mason Greenwood. A lot of people expect Mason Greenwood to then come into the national team. I think a lot of fans now has come to the realization that it's potential, it's a potential that Mason Greenwood might not be a part of this setup for the Reggae Boyz, so life goes on. But what happened to the players like Rico Henry, Max Aarons, Dujon Sterling, all those players named Lewis Baker? We kept hearing about passports were being processed and these players were supposed to join up with the national team. However, that hasn't come to fruition. We still have almost the same team that Jaime Hallgrimsson left the Reggae Boyz with a few additions. Some would say a Bailey Kadamarchi, he's a good find. But what happened to that wealth of talent that's in the diaspora for Jamaica? There's also news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago that the grandfather or the grandparents' law has now been enacted in Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago will start to improve as well. They will now start to be able to attract certain kind of players. They will be able to attract players from their diaspora. And if we remember, Trinidad was one of those competitive nations when they had more players in England. However, after Trinidad football took that massive hit, they weren't able to compete or to recover. Now, Jamaica is the talk of the town when it comes on to the Caribbean. But some Jamaican fans would say that there is still room for improvement. What's going on with these big name players? We heard a lot about passports and a lot of passport talks. I don't think Steve McClaren has been able to necessarily pull it off. Steve McClaren he's still going with the same players. However, with all that said, I still think that Jamaica should focus on the players they need, not the players that that their name just pops up and people think that these players are healthy for the squad. But what's taking place there? Why no more players coming in to bolster the team? Because though there should be players coming back into the team, there are a lot of players that fans are calling for, thinking that these players should be a part of the setup. However, those players are still not here as well. Farmer says life goes on, and every day another baby is born. But JT, you are one of them. Do not want Nitro 69. I cannot focus on what you're saying tonight. I'm here to do a proper show tonight, to ask some questions to the fans before we open the phone lines. I'm not one of them. I'm not picking the team. The coach is picking the team. Steve McClaren was hired not because of his coaching prowesses, but also because people consider Steve McClaren to be closer to the action, and he comes in with the proper repertoire, meaning he's a Manchester United, ex-Manchester United coach. So a lot of players would be able to now make the move, or he would be able to convince more players to come in and play for Jamaica. However, that hasn't been the case. People, remember to hit the like button on the show. Let's not make the show drag on tonight. We won't be doing 4 or 5 hours if we cannot get the people on the show. And we all have to hit the like button to make sure people are aware that the show, I know it's a different time that I'm coming in today was on the road, but I still decided to do a show, however, to get this show going. But Steve McClaren, let's remember, Steve McClaren was brought in as a man who was seen as somebody who can get some of these players over the line. However, that hasn't happened. Some of these players are still threading the line. Still no Mason Greenwood. We saw Omari Hutchinson. He has basically made a switch to where he's a fully blown England player. Some people would say JT, but look at Bailey Cadamarchi. He played for the youth team in England, and he was able to make that switch back to Jamaica. Bailey Cadamarchi is no Omari Hutchinson. That's a totally different story, because a Bailey Cadamarchi plays in the championship. He plays for a lesser club. We have a Omari Hutchinson who plays in the English Premier League now at Nottingham Forest after making his big move from Ipswich Town. We have players like Kaheem Dixon. Those local players are doing well for, I think he's at Crawley Town. I think, I'm not sure. I don't remember the name where Kaheem Dixon is. But what's going on, people? Where are these players? I think Steve McClaren now needs to answer some questions in the next window. Because when do you integrate these players if you do decide to bring them into the team? Is there going to be a mass exodus of players coming into the Jamaican national team if Jamaica makes it to the World Cup? When are we going to see these players coming in? I've watched a player like Rico Henry this weekend, and boy, I was impressed with the player coming off the bench. He was effective in that game versus Chelsea immediately. He had an impact from the left back position as soon as he got on the park. He was able to take the football from his own 18-yard box to the opponent's 18-yard box. Jamaica currently doesn't have a wing back who takes the ball from our own 18-yard box and take it to the opponent's 18-yard box. The only player that's potentially close to that is a Dexter Lambekisa, but that's not enough depth there. Are we still waiting on the Joel Latibodiers? Are we still only waiting on the Bobby Reed? Still think this Jamaica team needs some bolstering. When is the right time? When is the bolstering going to take place? Is the team that qualified Jamaica, will that be the same team? That's my question for you tonight. The team that qualifies Jamaica, is that going to be the same team that we see line up for the Reggae Boyz in the World Cup, as Jamaica is sitting pretty well right now on 6 maximum points from their last window, looking to catch 3 games on the bounce against a Curacao, the next window, and a Bermuda. Jamaica should be able to handle business then. But my question is there going to be a situation? We saw what took place after the Unity Cup, where Jamaica started to look like a team who is building up some level of chemistry. And right after that, Jamaica, the team got disrupted when players start to come in. Now, do we build on the last window, or we wait till Jamaica gets to the World Cup and maybe 9-10 players out of this squad is no longer a part of the team? Yes, I don't expect players like Kevin Lambert to be a part of the setup. Joshan Anglin is guaranteed not to travel to the United States, so he won't be a part of the Jamaica national team for the World Cup. We can safely say that. So what's going to happen? Clayton Green said it's possible that one of the things Leon Bailey was talking about in the infamous interview last year might be keeping new recruits away. What was Leon Bailey talking about in the interview? I'm talking about the coach's pulling power. This is no longer on the JFF. I have had confirmation from the JFF that they are willing to go to great lengths to make sure the processes are expedited for players so they can receive their Jamaican passport. But my question is, where are all these players that Steve McClaren supposed to bring in? People, remember to hit the like button. Thank you for joining us tonight for another live stream. Jamaica will be playing in just a couple of weeks again. The football space will be buzzing. I'm seeing some report that Dwight York might be stepping down for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not certain about that source, that Dwight York might be stepping down or he handed in his resignation. Not certain about that. But that's my question tonight. We saw a Romain Burrell. He was able to score for QPR on the last weekend. Why is he not a part of the Jamaican setup? If Mikel Antonio doesn't get a window, get a team by the end of the next window, this would be a disgrace to keep selecting a player who is now a pundit on TV to represent Jamaica. There's no way we could have young players out there waiting in the wings and we're still selecting players who currently don't have a club. We see that's the same criteria for a player like Ravel Morrison. He doesn't have a club and he's not a part of the Jamaican setup. So why does a Mikel Antonio gets to be in the Jamaican national team? I understand where some fans are going to say, yes, this is solely based on loyalty. Yes, we saw that with Adrian Mariappa when he was being phased out. And a lot of fans thought that Mariappa should still be a part of the team. I still hear people calling for a Tyree McGee in the team. I have called for a Tyree McGee in the national team. I think Tyree McGee's days are done as a Jamaican international. I think he's marked up as one of those players who has failed to kick on to the next level as a young homegrown talent for the Jamaican Reggae Boyz. People want to also know about a Mothersill. I think Mothersill now should be ripe for a call-up in the next window. There should be no reason why that youngster shouldn't be in the team. People are also calling for a Dujon Whisper. Is a Dujon Whisper ready for a national call-up again? I'm not so sure. And if Craig Butler is still the manager for Dujon Whisper, and though Craig Butler wouldn't listen to a guy like me, I would say to Craig Butler, do not let Dujon Whisper play for Jamaica anytime soon. Let Dujon Whisper nail down his spot in England. If he has a good season, I expect a Dujon Whisper to go out on loan next season at Chelsea. So let him go out on loan and let him start playing some football. However, if Dujon Whisper is playing football at a higher level next season, he should be one of our sure selections for the national team going into the World Cup, as I would want to see at least 4 or 5 good young players in a Kaheem Dixon, Dujon Whisper, a Richard King, a Tyrese Campbell, a Dexter Lambikisa. I might be missing someone else, but I would want to see at least 5 of those young players making it to the World Cup for this Jamaica team, because this would help to solidify the future for Jamaica. You're now building a core group of youngsters who would be coming back from the World Cup with World Cup experience. Rudolph Speed, you have won, and I've said this to you privately, you have won the Caribbean Cup with young players. So you do know that young players can pull it off if you put them in the right situation. However, I don't expect Jamaica to field an entirely young squad going into the World Cup. That would be madness. But I also don't expect Steve McClaren to then field a squad of pensioners, as I would call them. I wouldn't want to see Jamaica enter the World Cup with a group of pensioners, meaning a set of only old players going to the World Cup for Jamaica, because then you would not be building for the future. So there should be youngsters who would be ready to go to the World Cup with Jamaica. And it's only a couple of those players in Kahim Dixon, Dujon Whisper, Dexter Lambikisa, and Richard King. Ian Frey, I'm not so sure why Ian Frey is hanging around. If Ian Frey does not take the call up for Jamaica next window, I think we move on from Ian Frey very quickly, as Ian Frey is a good, versatile player, but Ian Frey is nothing special. I hope Ian Frey sees this. He's nothing special. If he wants to wait for the United States, let him wait in vain for their love. We are not going to be waiting in vain for his love. We don't care if Ian Frey actually shows up. Yes, he would be a good addition to the national team, but we want to go into this World Cup no longer depending and begging these players to now come and represent the national team. Players needs to want to represent Jamaica. If you don't want to represent Jamaica, stay where you are. Ian Frey could stay in the MLS and keep getting injured and bounce around into Miami and just play boring MLS football. No problems with me. I was even quite shocked when I saw Ian Frey's name on the team sheet for Jamaica in being called up in the squad. But for too long, we have now depended on players who are not committed. Jamaica has approximately 2 more windows, I think, before World Cup qualifiers end. And that's not when some of these guys should be showing up. That's not when some of these guys should be showing up when it's all done and dusted. Ian Frey is not a big player to where he waits until Jamaica gets qualified and we're selecting Ian Frey for Jamaica. Let him stay home. Let him stay home. We won't be losing sleep. This would be a massive disrespect to a lot of these players who has put in the effort to get Jamaica where they want to be. And I have to be fair to these players. Damian Lowe, a lot of these guys, they have come under a lot of scrutiny from myself on YouTube. We have critiqued a lot of these players in some harsh ways, but they still go out there and do the job for Jamaica. And I'm loyal as well to players who do the job for Jamaica to get them qualified. I want you to put this in context. My loyalty to players are limited. I'm not blinded by the fact that players are loyal to Jamaica, so they should be selected even when they don't have a club or they're not informed. However, I think there should be some level of loyalty for players who gets Jamaica to the World Cup, as some of these players would have been through some treacherous times with the national team, coming through 3 head coach in a Paul Hall, 4 head coach, Theodore Whitmore, Paul Hall, Jaimir Hallgrimson, and now coach Steve McClaren. So a lot of these players have been through the rough times with the national team, and it's only right if they qualify the team for the World Cup. Some of these players needs to be there. Bashi Ellis, midfielder from Racing, needs to be looked at. He's quite good in the JPL, and only way to know if he's good enough is for the national team. Farmer, I strongly disagree. The national team now at this stage is no longer a testing ground for JPL players. I don't think we go for players like what's his name, Bashi. Tell Bashi to get overseas. Tell Bashi to get overseas. My bro, we want the best to carry to the World Cup. But I agree with that saying, but only the best we have to take. But I understand what you're saying, Madly Footer. We want to take the best to the World Cup. But do we now throw away the players that qualifies Jamaica for the World Cup? Do we throw away the players who qualify Jamaica for the World Cup and bring in a total new team for the World Cup? I'm not so certain about that. I'm not certain about just calling in a bunch of players because we want the best players for the World Cup. I think we get the players that we need. I think Jamaica should get the players that we need for the World Cup, because a lot of players are waiting around until Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup, and then they want to show up. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm not agreeing with players waiting till Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup. 1 second there, Cryptic. Let me just sort out this. Wait. Let me just was talking some football today with Cryptic a little bit, so I told him I would give him a call. People, just give me a second here. Let me just, my headphones are like tangled. All right. Yes, people. So keep giving me your thoughts on that. Should Jamaica just go with players who some people consider as the best players? Because the best players is one thing, but does it help with a team? We talked about the same thing today. But Cryptic, yes, welcome to the show, Boss. My question to you tonight is, some of these players that are waiting around until Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup, I understand you would like to have the best players out there and the quality. How do you balance loyalty and players who help to get you to where you are, and also bringing the needs of the team?
All right, I'll answer that question there. Me believe, say, me morally, me not think it right. Me feel like, say, if you want to play for the country, JT, you have enough for catch, and you know if you have no second thought. It's like a prenup, bro. Like marriage, like, you know, them say, oh, you have a thing in a prenup.
Yeah.
We have to just include. Yeah, me I say, bro, if the man them do that, JT, it just me not think it right psychological. Then me I look on it this way. So if Jamaica play a World Cup, if you play for Jamaica just regular, and we not play nothing some friendly ball game, how committed are you then? Like me not know what kind of signal that send to me as a fan.
And the dressing room as well.
Yeah, like what that I say, like so after World Cup we have play Trinidad and Tobago. You're not in panic bus now. You just say, yo, you're busy, can't make it this time, yeah. You know, so it just make no sense, bro. If the man them not come, no, JT, I left them on road, bro. All right, you know, I'm a hypocrite still, you know. One exception I make the exception to Mason Greenwood. No, what you know? You know, everything you have a thing on him, class.
Yeah.
So man, like we have pretty bias. If you come for a man in a JT and you look better than you know, you might assume say you are a thief, you know. I must say you look ugly and trust.
Yeah.
So you have to have exception. But when I make no exception for nobody else, because them know that them ball ain't that good, bro. Like me see some man, who them a wait for? Like for England call them, the rest of the man them like
I think so.
Who else?
Or England or America. Or America or something. Even like a Ian Frey. When I'm saying, what is Ian Frey hanging around? What's
where am I hanging around, pan?
Yeah, what is Ian Frey? What is Ian Frey hanging around for? Ian Frey should jump at the opportunity to play for Jamaica.
Bro, I don't get it, bro. I don't know if the man in here say, like, I don't know if the man in here say, man, I thief them shoes in the dressing room in Jamaica. Like, the man might be the worst thing. Like the man might be the worst ideology of Jamaica, bro. Like, what them a wait pan, bro? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, the time, like, them time run out to do as a baller.
Yeah.
If you wait there at 27, time still run out, you could have get some games to your country. It still means something, I don't know. Maybe it don't mean nothing if Jamaica play for, but I don't look on it like that.
And also, we've seen over time that it takes sometimes to transition to international football.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just walk out of your club. Because even look at the Mikel Antonio. How do you deal with the Mikel Antonio situation? That's a situation. That's the perfect situation of loyalty. He's been there for Jamaica, but he's a TV pundit. No.
Yeah, with him, no. But he never did even score much goal for either way. He wasn't prolific. So I mean, we have enough bodies up there, bro. Who can kind of give him a nice, we call it farewell. Moody bring him. Bro, if he was like goal scorer, like Cristiano Ronaldo now, still a score go for Portugal. even if Chris did wash up. Rather have a man like Chris who can say, yo, me used to do this and me used to do that, you know.
Yeah.
And even if him not do it still sound good. Antonio not even have that, bro. So
Yeah, because
I don't know
Antonio
him and
hasn't
motivate.
really lived up to expectation for Jamaica. Not gonna blame him slowly because he was a bulk of his games came on the Jaime Hallgrim, so where Jamaica was playing a whole nother type of football.
Yeah.
Do-
Yeah, we have enough bodies. Like, we have enough guys up for, cause remember saying, if Warner Brown and my boy there are play, we have to go bring two of them. Two of them, like, if Warner Brown and Bailey Kadamachi, based on them age, we probably have to go bring two of them.
we have to.
Then now we have to go decide if we are going to bring Nicholson. Bro, we can't bring Antonio if him not come for slap in it, bro. We're not there for the motivation.
Segue into
bro.
a Roman Borrell. You've got to see him.
Yeah, all him too.
You saw him in the Unity Cup. Has recently scored for QPR, and remember he made a jump from League One after that Unity Cup, and he had a brilliant season at Albion, and he got to move to QPR. Do you think he's a player who should be a part of the setup?
He kind of tricky, you know, cause I don't know. I kind of tricky because the thing when I look for Burrell, Bailey Calamachi, and even Brown, them under the same category, meaning say, and I like say one of them
Special.
Yeah, like one, you know, like you have levels in a career where I say this man is a veteran, this man is an elite scorer for a couple of years now. The three of them, you can kind of pick two out of three and just call it a day. So I didn't even sure if him have to make it to, you know. Based on how him season go, if him finish the championship and you really see him's ahead of certain the two, well, I not say head of the two. You know have to be them two. What I try to say is that them three striker here is like when I put them at the same rank. So I don't know they have pick all three, but it's not a like what you call it? I don't know which word for you, but it's not a marginal decision to say, yo, I'm have to pick him now. They make them fight it out.
You would willing to lose any one of them, but why I wouldn't be willing to lose any one of them is this continuity. I'm looking at continuity because Warner Brown and those guys are still young. Warner Brown still hasn't made that move yet. Let's say he goes to a World Cup, he gets out there, he's going to get a contract. Let's say he gets a contract after the World Cup. You want some of your young players to come back from the World Cup with World Cup experience to build the next team.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and Bailey Kadamachi is going to be there. Warner Brown. I think Bailey Kadamachi and Warner Brown are two players who should be fighting for that position for the future going forward. And Dujon Whisper comes back. But do you see Dujon Whisper as a striker or a winger?
Boy, you know what? It's kind of funny, you know, because me think say most young player at that age, me always see a young like a striker. Me never normally see like them players there, bro. Them end up become strikers, but them are no wingers. But that say my most is a striker. But obviously at a young age, you always see like a guy like 19 and lead the line as a striker. So players like them, then they normally play out wide like in our pockets until when they become like 24. You see them say, yo, centre forward. Yeah, so him is kind of striker, but probably not in the man's game. Him not gonna win headers. He's still a boy and have the core strength yet for challenge of header for Van Dijk. So at the moment, them just play out wide to get touches. But naturally, I think he's a striker because him not beat a man like, I say like a Pedro Neto them and a Saka them beat players. He not do that. So he's obviously not. He wouldn't survive as a winger. Him ever. I think he's more as a striker.
Yeah, and if you look at his game as well, and why a lot of people, why we were so high on Bailey Kadamachi is he shows the characteristics of a striker, running the channels, you know, feeding off scraps, compose in the box. Dujon Whisper is composed in the box, but we don't expect any hold-up play from Dujon Whisper. He wants to get it at his feet, cuts in, and shoot. So I'm not sure. And the reason why I ask you is then because that wing position for Jamaica is, I think the wing position for Jamaica is the most competitive position on the field.
Yeah, man. You're right. Because we have a lot of bodies there. Like even me I look on so even controversy. When Gray come back, you think if you just bench him or you think if you give him the number 10 madness for yesterday match, right? That me the one to ask you if you agree with that. You think him for just relegate the bench.
I think I think you see, this is a tricky one, you know. Me see why you ask me, because if you didn't ask me, me to ask you. Because the thing is, Casey Palmer is there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding Casey Palmer. No, Demarai Gray has an opportunity the next window to own that position, right? Because Casey Palmer is out on cards. So if he comes back the next game and we see that the team is not disrupted in a negative way, but eventually the next game he has to start without a Casey Palmer. But without that, if he didn't have to start, I think we integrate him back into the team. What says you on that?
Yeah, I think me that bench him still. Me do put him for 10. I think the 10 thing is a waste of time thing. Because you have a thing to me, JT, when you have the competitive nature. If me think say if grade upon the field as a 10, as much as Casey Palmer do it up himself a couple of times, well, and I still think I'm a midfielder, an average midfielder playing midfield in a professional game is still better than a makeshift player playing midfield. Like example, you as a goalkeeper at Sunday league level, you're just better than a man whenever play goalkeeper in his life. Because you're professionals regardless. So I still think Casey Palmer still better than him in other role. I think if you keep him on the bench and just have the competitive nature, the man a fight for them thing, and just build that in the wing areas. I think if you just make him get that fire in his belly, bro. Keep him on the bench until Cephas lose the seat.
Yeah.
That would I do. Would force him in. Because I still think Casey Palmer, as a man as a midfielder, is still better than, because I'm a film profession, so it's still like Messi. You would put Messi in a midfield because he can knock the ball and can turn upon the ball. You would still probably rather playing Messi when play an average midfielder in a midfield role. Then you say you put Messi at number 8 and no, you know me I say so. Yeah. Palmer still do a better role.
Yes, and
I say Palmer good enough.
I understand you 100%. Is like you're saying no. All right, somebody who is a builder. He might not be the best builder, but he has experience building houses. Do you pick somebody because his dad was a top builder? Do you bring that person in to make him a builder where he hasn't really proven that he can actually build your house? And so you don't want to, you would rather go with somebody who is playing week in, week out, going through the different scenarios in the middle, than now try to have somebody to get up to speed and adapt that position and where it's not their true position. But you segue perfectly into a Ronaldo Cephas. Though some people would say he had a massive window, I see a lot of fans on social media calling for Ronaldo Cephas to only get 5 minutes in the games.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
No, man. I don't rate Cephas that much, but you see, because him dep on the farm, you have to make him play out until him lose it, While the iron at here does make him deserve is still there and start. I really and truly, I couldn't play and cuss, but really and truly, him kind of still have him spot for somebody take it. So, no, man, Cephas have to go and start until him just lose it.
Yeah, because we've seen that as well. We've seen where, because we spoke about this in the WhatsApp group where Cephas is a player where you talk about his weaknesses, but you said something one time that stood out to me. We have to just work with what he's good at, and he's good at running past people. So we get the best out of him for what he's good at instead of expecting from Ronaldo Cephas to be a player that he's not. Another player as well, people are calling back for Daniel Johnson. Can Daniel Johnson really impact this Jamaica midfield right now?
No, sir. Daniel Johnson, them, bro, did average from him in prime, bro. Daniel Johnson can't go and drink some coconut water when they are, bro. Well, if them have that at Turkey, but bro, if Daniel Johnson can start outside the rock, yes, the power of them, that be a shame of themselves. Him is a younger version of him, and him have relaxed too. See him high. Bro, Daniel Johnson them done, man. I say, man, no, sir. Daniel Johnson, no, brother. Daniel Johnson wasn't elite even in younger time, bro. And then even, no, them not say elite, a Jamaica we are talking about. But Daniel Johnson wasn't nothing special from day one, bro. It make him alright, bro. Him actually get
well, what do you say to some people that when Daniel Johnson was in the team, Jamaica also was playing a different kind of football to a point where we might not seen the best, might not gotten the best out of him due to the team and how we were playing?
Well, me and JT, me open-minded person, you know. So I mean, if him come and me not agree with that. See what them a say. Me think say Daniel Johnson. Me can't remember a game of Daniel Johnson get one side where we know say alright. That's a challenge. And me see Daniel Johnson sit down in my belly and rule the park. Daniel Johnson does do him for against the team now better than just like with Palmer them and Russell them do, bro. Daniel Johnson, if Daniel Johnson can show me on the TV one Costa Rica, one Panama or something when run the field, then me can say, all right, bro, Daniel Johnson don't do nothing special. I see the man more have, you know, bro.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. No, bro, him all right. Can't turn him there, bro.
Yeah, I think Daniel Johnson had more bad games for Jamaica than good games.
I swear, yeah, bro. I don't know where the money are coming, bro. If him they have at least 3 games against some big dog, mother say, yo, at least people them a go for like when them say Maggie bossy turn pan Costa Rica. And I tell you, man.
Maggie is the only player who can get selected on one turn.
Yeah, but if Daniel Johnson they have a catalog who could have pulled up, I understand, bro. Him leave have that, bro. So when I buy that, brother.
Yeah.
When I buy that, bro. Yeah. I mean, when I compare Maggie and Johnson play more, so it chances I'm gonna get a lesser average. But when me I say if him they have couple games, I mean, could I look back on right now and say, oh, you know, so remember when we play Mexican
in Saudi Arabia, it was when he just played for Jamaica. You remember that game? I think he scored a free kick.
Yeah.
I think that was his more dominant game for Jamaica, and it was an international friendly in that game.
Yeah.
And I think in that game, players kind of got and he was coming off a farm in the championship as well. Confidence was much higher. He might have felt that it was a step down for him, so the confidence. I'm not I think his team got promoted to the next level in Turkey. Haven't been keeping up with Daniel Johnson. Not much there for me. Haven't been really keeping up with him. But Cryptic, you're muted. But however, thanks for the call, brother. That was a good call. Cryptic. Yeah. We went through all the points seamlessly.
Yeah, man. Respect, man.
All right.
Me go on this issue, yeah?
All right. Yeah, man. Blessings. Yeah, man. People, the number is on the screen. Feel free to call in. My question tonight to you is, what happened to the recruiting of these players that Jamaica has been talking about? What happened to a player like Tyrese Campbell, the striker at Sheffield? Though Sheffield is struggling currently. They just hired a new head coach that got fired from Sheffield like 2 times. They were 1 game away from getting promoted to the Premier League. or 2 games. I think they lost to a Coventry, or and I'm not sure if they lost to a Burnley or a Coventry, or maybe Burnley. But that's a striker that I think could add something to Jamaica in a Tyrese Campbell. Me not go lie, though Johnson is really hot in Turkey, but me no want him back in the team, said Madly Footer. I think that's how a lot of people feel about Daniel Johnson. I keep hearing that listen, I've heard this numerous of times. Junior Fleming's hot down at Qatar. Of course, they're gonna be hot in those countries. The weather down there is beautiful. However, coming back into the Jamaica national team, Jairus, I know that you would love to see Daniel Johnson back in the national team. Big up yourself, heading for greatness. But I'm not sure if Daniel Johnson adds anything to the Jamaica team right now. That's just my question to you. Like, does Daniel Johnson really add anything? Would you want to go back in that direction? And is his age a factor? If Jamaica doesn't get another midfielder though, do you then look at a Daniel Johnson as potentially depth in that midfield position? Because there's no way Jamaica can go to a World Cup with just depending on a Casey Palmer. Casey Palmer might just kick down a cameraman and him get suspended for 3 games, or him just jumping on somebody foot back. Casey Palmer he commits some weird little fouls, They haven't really stand out as much, but I think some of his actions might end up costing Jamaica in some big games. So that's something that we're really keeping an eye on. Casey Palmer seemed to be indisciplined somewhat. And maybe that's part of what's been hampering his career as well. Casey Palmer, you need to take a look at yourself, my brother. I think Fleming should get... Bro, you think Junior Fleming should come back in the team? You think Daniel Johnson should come back in? Where are people getting these things? Trucking boss. What you think a Daniel Johnson should come back in the team? A Junior Flemings, and also what's going on with the recruitment? You think Jamaica should just accept that these are the core group of players we have and we just move forward?
Absolutely not. You don't need to go back to the olden age player. You have to understand football reach a stage right now. That's if you're not exceptionally good, you're not gonna cut it at age 32 at the international level. You may scramble to cut it at some club level, but not at the pace that the football is playing currently. Now, therefore, my answer is no. You don't go back. You don't try to build a good squad. Then you go back to a player in his 30-year-old. He's not gonna get better. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, he's not there. But they're saying he's in top form in Turkey.
It doesn't matter. We already know what he's capable of doing. Turning back the ball, give the defender from side to side. Never once go forward with the ball. So who do you play those? Remember, JT, if you're going to call someone in the squad, who are you going to play that player over? Who is currently in the squad? Because remember, you are building a team. Not if you has to be an exceptional coach like a Pep to even buy a player or get. In our case, we are buying a player. Only thing we are buying players. So when you buy a player, he has to be exceptional good to just come in and fit in that particular system you have going on.
Yeah. And but because what I'm doing tonight in a trucking boss, I have to be fair to the players. When Daniel Johnson was in the team, though, Jamaica was playing a different style of football under a different head coach. There was a lot of turmoil when he came onto the federation. Things was all over the place. What do you say that the timing was off for the player and now is the right time to bring the player back in? 1 second, trucking boss. Big up yourself, Brain Drain. Thanks for the super chat. 1/Civil. I guess Civil went to JC, right? Or one of those, a Calabar. So I know Brain Drain is a massive fan. Yes, Civil did pull off the goal. Continue there, trucking boss. And I could repeat my question, Chucking Boss. Was the timing, maybe timing was the problem. When Daniel Johnson came into the team, the situation was ideal for his skill set.
When you have good talent, it doesn't matter the situation you may come in. You will display your talent out there, and it be at this. JT, I'm gonna send you a clipping and the Haitian midfield, right? And two of those guys been running relentless. Take the ball off of your toe. Relentless. Midfielder, you see what happened in Manchester and Manchester City and Man United, darling. You see Bruno, how they're slow. As a midfielder, you have to be fast, relentless, powerless. You have to you have the drive. Daniel Johnson is very slow midfielder.
What is Daniel Johnson good? What is Daniel Johnson good at?
That's it. That's it. As I said, you have some player good at their club level, like Mr. Bailey, Leon Bailey, should say. It's a club baller, not team or club baller, because most of the club is find out this baller and realize that no. You know, you have to understand that football, you have to have a speed.
The fans are saying, Chucking Boss, stop chat madness.
Okay. What has Daniel Johnson done for anyone in the chat can say Daniel Johnson is a solid footballer? If any one of them can tell me what has he done, like if is he in at the top 100 player midfielder? No. So how can anyone in the chat in their right mind thinking that Daniel Johnson would be the savior after we have about 6 to 8 months leave the World Cup for Jamaica go and play a World Cup? See, and you all in the chat talking about bringing back a 30-year-old midfielder.
Yeah, and midfield and midfield, we know what's important in the midfield: work rate.
Precisely. If you don't have that necessary work rate in midfield, you might as well stay a yard and go for top of Whitmore.
Yeah, I just don't, and I want to give the players a fair share, but I can't see how Daniel Johnson comes in and impact this team.
You can't, because there's no room there to make mistake going forward in a World Cup. We're not just going to the World Cup to make up numbers, you know. You're going to the World Cup to make a statement. And this is what Jamaica has to offer. Like how we athlete them. You see Jamaica, them have a short memory, you know. Usain Bolt was the greatest runner and retired 32-year-old. Why you think him do that? Because him don't want to get embarrassed. Sometimes Jamaica forgot our athlete them are one of the strongest thing come out of Jamaica, and at what age they shine? At a young age. Mr. Taylor, don't follow the chat, because most of the time the chat forget our history. B.B. Gardner leave out of high school. You have Gregory Messam was the wickedest thing. And one time, when I see my see Bibi, come, bam, one game, and you never hear nothing about Gregory Messam, because the man was looking for young, fresh talent. So somewhere along the line, we lost it. We forget say our program, football program, supposed to build around youngster with a little bit of experience.
A mixture. Similar like how Chelsea build their team. I was telling somebody, if you look at Chelsea is Manchester United maybe need to look at how Chelsea build their team. Chelsea buy your best academy players and slowly bred them in. If they see that you don't have the potential, you go out on loan. Next season, if you start playing well on loan, they bring you back, but then they mix you with a World Cup winner, the Argentinian, then they bring in a Pedro Neto, and then they buy a Caicedo, who's still in his age for a good price. You see me, I say one Pedro. That's how Chelsea build their team. You need young players with an engine at certain position. So we segue to
Absolutely.
a Junior Flemings who has the engine. What would you? Because I think that Junior Flemings will never play for Jamaica again on the fact that he was one of the people who basically held the president of the JFF hostage in Suriname and got a vice note, him and Speedy Williams. But let's not go on that. Let's stick on the football. Does Junior Flemings now playing at a level that you think because I'm also afraid of Junior Fleming when it comes on to his disruptive behavior. And remember, with some of the overseas players, the relationship wasn't that good. What says you? We want to give these players a fair shot. What says you about a Junior Flemings coming back in?
No, at this stage of the World Cup qualify, you don't need disruptor. You know, sometimes to be the best coach and to be the best analyst, you play it simple. Meaning, you don't try to overthink the game let's say a Man United coach now. He's overthinking the game, so he made the game so complicated by playing player out of position. Jamaica don't need to do that, and we have a vice, so we're gonna make our vice. Right? Don't overthink the game. Play the game simple as it is, because football is a simple sport, right? Without work rate and without the right attitude, you just can't make my team. And Junior Fleming doesn't have that attitude where a coach that look for. That's why him not make it to the top. There's a team line with the elite and the ones that make it down at the bottom. You see their work ethic. That's what coach looking for. Touch and go. Coach looking for that. Coach want to see them forward, track back. That alone, him look on you and him very impressed with that. Junior Fleming's them attitude alone is very stink.
Yeah. And I think that the wing position, as I said earlier, is one of the most competitive position in this team. So I don't think Junior Flemings is even ahead of a Norman Campbell right now.
Exactly. Look at that team, Taylor. You know Norman Campbell even more than me. So would you bypass a Norman Campbell and go look at a Junior Flemings? If come on now, Mr. Taylor.
No, I couldn't do that.
You're not gonna do that.
I couldn't do that. That's madness, if you ask me.
Exactly. Now that you have several players vying for that position, you have the number 7 that Tyrese Campbell, Leon Bailey. Even when a Whisper come back and try to be fit, you have Hakeem Dixon. We have some quality player. Let them fight for that position over there. That's how the team gonna get better. You can't reward a man because him go there. Look on even Devante Stewart in the Israeli league. He's scoring goal. He's not looking bad. Yet it got hard for him make the team based upon what you have in front of you.
Yeah. Because even Travante Stewart, he can't make the team. So I don't see, and I think he's younger than Junior Flemings as well. And he got a bigger move. He went straight to the Serie A from the JPL.
Exactly. And enough people forget, and I know many in the chat forget why Devante Stewart me not in the team right now. Because the same attitude, him and Liam Bailey, was the one who went out before the match and coming back drunk. When the match was playing at National Stadium.
Yeah. And Travante Stewart. And Travante Stewart, they're not at a place in their career where Travante Stewart should have sleep out.
That's the thing. He was just following bad company at the time. But I know he learned and now he's playing some good football. Deserve to be in call now. He's putting the hard work. You can see that this guy is learning his craft day by day, and he's promoting himself, right? Because you have to have the right discipline and frame of mind. If you want your career done as a footballer, pick up drinking and partying.
Yeah.
You have no career. Ask the great Brazilian them that ask them, Niba, the whole of them, why them now win a World Cup? Because the time when you supposed to spend a train, your mind upon to go party later on.
You're on to the next. And football, you have to be locked in. And we even see what's happening to Leon Bailey. First training session, boom, he's out.
Exactly. So you can't mix them, them always say, you can football and some say soccer, make you understand. You can't mix those two, go out and talk about you want to party, you want to drink at the same time. You have to choose one. Because the football lifespan is from if you don't drink and don't party, you probably you play till like Madrid and Cristiano Ronaldo up to a certain age and Buffon, the keeper.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're gonna choose the route of indiscipline, then now it's up to you that your teammate 90% of your teammate not gonna really like you, but then speak to you because you're part of the team.
Yeah. So them just play hypocrite with you because you're there.
Exactly. And them no one cause you have a little name a go on for you cause we have to give them some I play them that. But them no want to disrespect you. But behind closed door, them say, yo, John, well, you just shouldn't be a part of the team.
Yeah. What would you do now with what do you do now with a Mikel Antonio trucking boss?
Well, at this stage, Mikel Antonio, he's a factor in a sense with the younger guns, them. You know? And I love the fact that the coaching staff can have him around and don't try to force him in a team. Meaning the younger guns, and we have a lot of young guys coming from England. They all look up to Mikel Antonio. So I believe the coaching staff want to have experience in his side, meaning that him can even help those youngsters along the way. And I don't expect Mikel Antonio thinking him head say he's gonna be a starter based upon.
No, we're talking about just making the team because he's a pundit on TV now. He's not playing any football. Mikel Antonio is trying to make the U21 team in England. So what do you do with him? Because no, I think Mikel Antonio now is another Adrian Mariappa situation. We have loyalty and we respect him, but when do we actually cut the ribbon on him?
All right. Before I answer the question, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's say, let's call him name, Mason Greenwood accept the offer to come and play in October. And let's say, but say enough people would want him in the squad November. So let's say he accept that offer. Now you can look at it and say, do we need a Mikel Antonio? Right? But for now, I think he has a part to play based upon his experience around the squad. Yes, he may take up a position or so, need that experience around that good energy. Because if he do not comes with the good energy, might as well leave him at home because he's not contributing. Ravel Morris would be a perfect candidate, but this man disciplined today and tomorrow him wake up is an indisciplined lad. Right? And evening time, like a Balotelli, him have some respect and a laugh with everybody. A coach worst nightmare a player deal with a player like that. So that's why him probably not be a part of the team. Because he would be a perfect candidate to motivate the youngster because he see where he go wrong as a footballer. So he can encourage the youngster around him. To be a better player.
Ramon, because we're going to the players. Ramon Burrell, does he come back in for you the next window?
He scored goal. He's looking good. And him and Isaac Hayden at the same club. So those are a combination what you're looking forward to. Just like the Charlton athletic combination. So would you bring him? Because we are chopped up. Would you take a Burrell over a Tevante Campbell?
I would take Burrell over Travante Stewart. The reason why, his experience, and I think even that Unity Cup really helped Burrell. Had a good season at West Bromwich Albion in League One, and Burton Albion. I think he was at Burton Albion. He had somebody said, tell Chucking Boss to find a truck and stop and rest. Him tired, he might chat foolishness. I don't think Chucking Boss is just talking crap, Owen. I think he's making he's some good points. You probably don't agree with all his points. I think he's just telling you how he sees it with the player. Owen, you can call in later as well and give your take if you disagree with Chucking Boss. But as I'm saying, Borrell got a contract, went up from League One to the Championship, and he's already bearing fruits. He's delivering in the Championship at a higher level. I think Jamaica national team helped Borrell get that contract to move up to the next level. Do you keep a Mikel Antonio and then you keep a Borrell like that, a player who's informed in the Championship for a player that is quote unquote loyal to?
I would give Borrell, because you have to call player based upon performance, you know. If you're gonna pick a team based upon performance, you have to call Borrell. And some players improve themselves over the period of time, right? Borrell is one of them. And you cannot degrade a player. You have to uplift a player and give him a call based upon his performance.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a striker who's going to walk on the field. And you need competition as a striker. So
high work rate, very good work rate in Borrell. Very good work rate.
Solid, Mr. Taylor. He's very solid when it comes down to his work rate. You can't take that away from him.
Because here how I would use Borrell in a game. Jamaica up 2-1. Maybe Bailey Kadamachi is getting a bit winded and you want to drop back a bit deeper. Borrell is a player who can have up front by himself just chasing people down.
Yeah, just absolutely running. And that's where coaches get their pay, you know, put their hand around players, encourage them, you know, and say, hey, listen, we're gonna give you 15 minutes. I want you to go out there around, relentless, you know, pressure the defender, and I think that's where he come in very handy, you know, as a player, because we are looking for all-round player, you know. JT, I always speak about balance. When you can have a player who have actually the balance, them can kick the football properly, they can run properly, and they properly trained, you can see that in him. He's a good all-round footballer, so you probably need him in and around the team.
And he's very forward. Fit. We have Omar on the call. Omar, what's your take? Are you were listening to the show earlier?
No, we sure.
Okay. All right, brother. We're on a show now. You call me. You just call me, you know.
Oh, football show?
Yeah, but you just call me on the other phone.
Oh, okay, man. I'll go and listen.
All right, cool. All right. Chucking Boss, so thank you for here.
All right, respect.
Man. All right, cool. Man call me a while ago. I never call him. Look like a dog. Call me while I'm asleep. Yo, the man just call me. The next one, me there, so me I call him. The man say, which show? Yo, only on YouTube. So there we have it from yo, the man said, which show? Gun show, go on, man. Yo, I can't understand them thing here. But yeah, so people, you heard it there from so like he was sleeping. I think he was resting up. You know, I think we caught him off guard there. He thought it was the World Championship. Yeah. So Romy and Borrell, we have Unseen on the line here. We haven't spoken in a while, Unseen. We're gonna go through some quick points with you, Unseen, because I haven't got you on the show lately. But first, let me touch base with you on the JPL, because you are always batting for the JPL players. Is there any player you see in the JPL now, Unseen, that should be a part of the national setup going forward?
All right, so let me fix that argument. You say I'm always backing for the JPL players. What Unseen Sports is saying is that do not shut the door on the JPL players because of a lot of reasons that can occur that will require us to run and get a JPL player because one, money, two, logistics, and all those things.
No, logistics
All right,
and
so-
money is no longer a problem, Unseen.
Yeah, money is a problem because they just put out something that they need money to finance their World Cup qualifying campaigns. Anyway, let's move on.
No, I don't want to move on yet, Unseen. So you're still thinking that I don't think that Jamaica is that, because remember, when Dennis Strong left, there was a surplus. Yes, the piggy bank might be running out, but there should be enough money to fly in players for World Cup qualification. So would you still pick players on the basis of logistics and monetary deficiencies to bolster the team? You would still do that?
No, I'm just saying that can be a factor. I'm not saying that is the only thing. It can be injury. It can be just, a JPL player is quicker to reach to a particular area, stuff like that. So, and the JPL operate already, they're going to go for the less money and the one that quicker to go in the team. We see it all the time.
Okay, continue.
All right, so, so far, I think the midfielder, the number 10, I think he should get a look in.
From racing, everybody's talking about him.
Yeah, man. Bro, if you see the goal that he scored against Treasure Beach, a ball over the top, close control, then a dink over the keeper head.
But does he do that week in, week out?
Week in, week out as a number 10, he's more a provider, not a goal scorer. But when he gets the chance, he'll deliver his scores.
No, but the thing that he's known for, a provider, is he consistently looking like a cut above the rest, week in, week out?
Yeah, man, a cut above the rest in the number 10 position. You see the first game that they defeated Harnett Garden at Stadium East. 2 assists, 2 crossing the box from deep line area, pinpoint accurate to Cunningham, the makeshift centre forward, 2 goals for him. I thought he got the man of the match, but everybody never look at Ellis of his delivery. His 2 deliveries in the box that create the goals. So and then he scores also. He scored in the game also. A little movements, get into the space and kick the ball far corner beautifully. Keeper to dive off it. So when I look at those tactical thinking and the technique and all those things, you see he's a cut above the rest, man.
Okay.
He's a cut above
What
the
was
rest.
your assessment, Unseen, of the last window for Jamaica? Because we haven't spoken since then. What were your takeaways, pros and cons?
I'm just happy that we get the victory. Still not seeing a lot of things that a coach will try to influence on a team. Not seeing patterns of play with us working on individual brilliances. I just think the coach can do more, but can't give him 0. Still have to give him we'll go through. So at the end of the day,
You think Coach McClaren is still the man for the job for you?
No, he's not. I don't think he's the man. Still have issues, I'm saying. Changes when he should make changes and stuff like that. Still,
Would you fire him?
No, not at this time. I can't fire him at this time. But I just think we just work with him, yeah, man. But the players just need to just do them job. Some of the time it's not really about the coach, it's about the players, going out there and performing, do it for them country. I still can't credit McClaren.
Okay, so you're saying that it's mostly the players who are giving us the results. So you didn't see...
Yeah.
I've seen some slight improvements as far as build-up play and Jamaica looking a bit more compact the last window. You're saying you haven't seen any improvement in the national team last window?
No, we're playing a team 160th on the ranking, bro. Like, come on, man. We're supposed to win that game and look fluently on the field. But I'm not seeing that fluent movements and pattern of play coming off. It's more of individual brilliances from Cephas, Kadamatri, and God bless that we have him name Isaac Hayden at the middle of the park who structure that line whenever we don't have the ball. He's really an impressive defensive midfielder for us, When he structure that, when we fall to a mid block.
Who is?
Who?
Who?
Isaac Hayden.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He's very disciplined.
When we fall in the mid block, he's one of the man that gives instruction, tell who to go and mark, and he's always close to go and make that tackle. All right?
And to add to your point, Unseen, people, this might sound strange, but Isaac Hayden, he commits some intelligent fouls. That sounds crazy in football, but for people who play football, Isaac Hayden commits some intelligent foul. That sounds crazy. As a CDM, you have to know where to foul and when to foul. When you either realize that if I get beat in this position, my defense is now exposed, I have to take a foul here. Continue. I think Unseen might be on a call.
Yeah, man, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, man. So when I look at the individual brilliances from some of the players, it kind of helped in terms of how we play and stuff. Now, when you move at 8 out of the team,
can we continue like that? We just you're playing something in the back, Unseen. May I hear about myself?
No, I'm not playing anything.
Okay. May I hear myself reverberate back in?
You still hearing yourself, see, man?
Yeah, after you took that phone call. Yeah, it's gone now.
I took the phone call on my phone.
Yeah. May I hear?
Speaking to you on my laptop.
Okay, but it's echoing.
Can hang up and call back then.
Yeah, all right. Yes, people, we're there with Unseen. You know, Unseen is always unseen. I hear that Bashi consistently plays well. Says Farmer. Continue, Unseen.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So you were saying that if we can continue like that, you never finish.
Yeah, with just Isaac Hayden, because there's no depth at that position. Well, we did saw the coach brought in a Kevin Lambert, but if you get into a big game, does Kevin Lambert have that football IQ? Because we might end up with Joel Latibodier back at that position at some point if we don't get another player on the depth chart who can fill in that position.
Yeah, but for this group, it's okay. But I mean, when we play a bigger and better opposition, maybe in the World Cup, because I think the players can get us through the line. I don't think that. You know, I don't really see what the coach will do. Let me say, all right, yes, him deserve a 9 or a 8.
What would you grade the coach? What would you grade the coach?
I give him 6-7, you know, 6-7, because he might try. But most of the, why I not give him over that is because most of the problem that he's facing, him cause it on himself.
Really? In what way?
Selection. Yeah, when I select a Michael Antonio, like, explain that, and you have a Trevante Stewart who is consistently scoring goals.
So you would call Trevante Stewart in this team?
Of course. The man is on farm, bro.
Come on, Unseen.
Why wouldn't I call Trevante Stewart?
Over Romain Borrell? Romain Borrell?
Of course.
Who's scoring in the championship?
Of course. Trevante Stewart in the day, bro.
Eh?
Trevante Stewart in the day, right now.
That sounds a bit biased, Unseen. To call...
No, you call a name, and I'm saying Trevante Stewart.
But how would you call Trevante Stewart who's in a league? I don't even know what league Trevante Stewart is in. How would you call a Trevante Stewart over Romain Borrell, Unseen?
Trevante Stewart is in Israel, my brother. Top flight. Playing top flight league.
Come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Playing for one of the big clubs in Israel.
Trevante Stewart.
I agree with Unseen, JT. I agree with Unseen, that's all.
And scoring goals.
You agree with Unseen?
Consistently.
Yes, I agree with Unseen.
Before Borrell started to score goals and everybody started talking about it.
But I want more Borrell score for your season so far.
I wonder, I wonder.
But what is the quality? But the Israeli league is not on the same level as the championship.
Oh God.
Yeah, but the performance over since the two league, remember say last season before he moved to the Israel league, he was at that Serbia league or something like that. he was consistently scoring there and inconsistently scoring in an Israel league. Burrell was off farm, and he's a big Burrell supporter. Burrell was off farm for the first Burrell hit farm since he got QPR. If you follow Burrell was awful for the first couple of games.
But man of God, I think that Boza and Travante game unseen is a little bit too similar.
But that means you would have picked hard. You would have picked. My pick CP could have been Travante, Broadman, and Burrell.
You have to mute unseen till you talk. When you talk, yeah. When I say unseen, you just open your mind. Go ahead, Managad, and then unseen can come.
Yeah, Mr. My CP could be Broadman, Travante, Stewart, and Burrell.
So 1-1.
Mess up my name, just call him Broadman.
1-1 Brown.
No, Warner Brown no fit already.
Okay. What says you unseen? I think that Travante Stewart and Shamar Nichols is too similar to me as a striker. Same height.
Yeah, that means you'd have to drop one.
You'd have to drop one, and so also you drop Boza unseen. Unmute your mic. Would you drop which one of those players?
I don't think I would drop any. I would just bring him in and drop Warner Brown, because Warner Brown is not fit to play. Same like Managad said a while ago.
Okay, but if Warner Brown is fit?
Huh? When Warner Brown is fit, him have to show, him have to put in some work in the league first before me look at him again.
Okay, all right.
But the reason why I'm calling a JT, I did not hear Ansi say I don't know how Ansi that watch football. I don't say Jamaica have a certain pattern that play. If you guys are looking for tiki-taka holding ball game, Jamaica is not that type of ball team. Jamaica will keep possession for a short period of time before, if they can't pass, they have straight pass, go up front to transition very quickly. Jamaica is a transition team.
Yeah.
So if they get hold of the position at the football, they will make quick passes through the thirds and try. If they don't get the pass through the thirds, they go long, or they will make quick 1-2 passes through the middle and try and finish. Try and get across over or play.
Yeah, it's a team that we break fast. You want to get it on the break quickly, transition play, as you said, and it's a mixture of transition and route one football, direct. You hit it to the center back out wide.
They have a 10 to, if they don't have the position, they drop in a mid block. So they try to get teams to, when they press, they use the center forward and the attacking mid or the center or the 8 to try and get persons in a corner to overload the wings. So they get, when they press, they can win the ball over on the wing and then transition quickly. You are not going to see Jamaica play no tiki-taka football or holding up the ball. So if you get that out of the way.
Okay, my next question for you, but let me ask Unseen. Unseen, you would have seen that window, midfield problem.
Yeah, we have, in terms of, I would say then, all right, so you have to put in context. All right, first game looked good against Bermuda. Casey Palmer looked like I got sent him. Second game versus a better opponent, he's lost. We need to find somebody who are consistent. He's not that player that we all think he is. And that's just the truth coming from Unseen Sports. I don't know if you guys agree. I don't think Managad agree. Still giving him a chance. But he's just not the man for us. Whenever it becomes.
Do I agree that he should be in the starting level? No.
Yeah?
I don't believe he should be in the starting level.
Say it again?
No, do I agree if he should be in the starting level? No, I don't believe he should be in the starting level.
Okay.
I would believe that he would be in the starting level. However,
we kind otherwise from Casey Palmer Casey Palmer temper, you know, and a hothead. I see Casey Palmer is a good baller. You know? We kind of really go at it with a certain way where we don't think we're supposed to go at Casey Palmer. You know? Because I watch over the Bermuda match. They watch over the Trinidad match, and I watch over the Trinidad match in Unity Cup. Casey Palmer is we string the ball better than even Russell. I remember he's a Russell man, you know. He does string the ball even better than Russell. The thing is, you can't have Russell and Casey Palmer on the same pitch to me, because the two of them, when they come in defensively, are they defensively liable.
Poor.
Yeah, they're poor. But when it comes to stringing that ball, putting that ball in a certain place where we can get that, and I think Cephas is a huge problem. Can stringing that ball and putting those balls where we're supposed to be. Casey, he's giving you that. But defensively, he's a liability, brother. He's a liability. And we need Cephas, if you're hearing this, we need back Guatemala Trail of Cephas. And we need back a Nigeria Cephas. Because I don't feel Cephas is a all-out bad football. Yeah, I feel like you don't know if he play a ball, but if we can get Cephas to string the ball, as cross the ball, and Jamaica will be better in a transition.
Unseen. Whenever man of God finish, you just follow up. Continue.
You know that I'm glad he touched on with the Casey Palmer thing, that is poor defensive, because I was going to ask you a question about the different phases of the game where you have a defense, defending and attacking. And he will be good passing the ball, but when he's defending, he's atrocious. Track a man halfway and then allow him to just go in the box or kick the ball off by a goal. And you do it in the Unity Cup, you do it in a Gold Cup, you do it in a. You always do it. You understand me? So for me, we beat down other players such as Tariq Magia. We don't talk about the same thing for the other player, but it's similar. You understand what I mean?
So you think Tariq Maggi still have a chance?
No. I'm just saying that they are similar players. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. We share the blame, we share the criticism different as fans of football in Jamaica. So I'm just making that one out there for people to kind of think about it. You may not agree with Unseen Sports, but that is what I think. So with Cephas now, as we said before, Cephas have a fundamental development problem. Cephas wasn't a footballer growing up, he was a tracksman, turned to football. So I feel like a lot of the things that he's supposed to learn. A lot of people think that when I go Premier League, when I go overseas and so, they really work on you to get better. Because Cephas is overseas and I don't see where Cephas improving.
Yeah, I don't see it either. People, we have 198 people watching the show. We only have 100 likes on the video. Let's get this up to 150 people. 150. One on move. 150. 50 on move, people. Come on, let's do it. 150. Let's get it over to 250 people on the live. All right? Let's go, people. We need 50 more likes.
But bring Maggie and Cephas in the same conversation. Not Cephas, Palmer in the same conversation, because at least we can say yes, him liable defensively, yes, but him put more efforts in the defense than Maggie. More effort. Me not downplay that. But and him is a better passer and a better dribbler to me. However, Cephas in this team, Cephas can be. See, if I was
But
discussing
man, I
with
God,
some
why
people, there,
people are every time we talk about the games, people always say if Cephas come to the party. So with all his deficiencies, people still see him as that wild card in the deck for Jamaica.
yes, I see him as a wild card coming off the bench. I don't see him as a starter. I see him as a wild card coming off the bench.
So you're not afraid
And
that if you bench him, Jamaica plays different based on what he gives you on the field?
no, the reason why he might. Demarai Gray, if you guys watch Demarai Gray, the first early part of him career in Jamaica, if you give Demarai Gray, kick the ball in space to Demarai Gray and give him to him, he's going to run past the defender or slow down the defender and cut in and score. We have seen that. Demarai Gray will going down the byline all the time and passing. He know when to pass and when to go in and pass the ball between the lines.
Dockland Stennis is asking you who you see as a starter over Cephas then.
Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray is a starter over Cephas for me. And with
Who is more effective right now and adding stats to the board for Jamaica?
Demarai Gray.
No.
Right now.
Nope.
Right now.
No.
Right
now.
Recently.
The last. Yeah, right now. The last good game Jamaica played.
You got that wrong, brother. That's wrong.
One wrong, bro.
Cephas has the better statistics in the last set of games for Jamaica. From you check from the Unity Cup.
When the last game Jamaica played what?
Bro, the last game that
before these two couple games, before these games.
Well, on the man, I got the last game of Demarai Gray scoring and he scored 2 goals against USA. He scored back.
But all right.
I'm just asking you a question. We're not arguing now. Yes or no?
The last 2 games when he played, he scored against USA, yes?
Okay, all right.
But he have a goal contribution. He have a goal contribution after that with the assist to Warner Brown, winning a penalty against Guatemala.
All right,
the whole team never have a good World Cup.
Check how much Cephas have now.
Much 2 goals him have.
Assist him have.
Much assist him have.
I ask you, him have 2 in 1 match.
Yeah, and 2 goals.
Yeah, and
much assist more him have.
Check the other match I'm playing now.
Him no other assists more than the 2 assists.
Okay.
So him have 2 goals and 2 assists in no much match. Now almost 20 and match.
No man, we are check from Unity Cup, my brother. Don't come out of context.
Alright, so if you're gonna take Unity Cup, Cephas play more game than him in a Unity from Unity Cup, so you're gonna say now.
And we have to also consider how many penalties Cephas has won as well. I think Cephas has just
penalty and him play more game than Demarai Gray.
Listen, so man of God, I do agree with your analysis on the player Ronaldo Cephas as far as his deficiencies. What I'm not gonna agree on is the fact that he has been an impact player as a starter for Jamaica. He was the one who helped Jamaica to start that game very fast against Trinidad, winning 5 corners in the first half, getting the crowd in the game. I just think he does add a spark. Though we know the deficiencies, I think the upside, and as Anseen said, he hasn't improved. And we all see that. That's the frustrating thing about Ronaldo Cephas. We're expecting when he goes back to his club to see even some slight improvement in his game. and he just comes back with the same thing. But I don't think Demarai Gray has been as effective since the Unity Cup as a Ronaldo Cephas.
Seven goals, 7 assists. That's 14 goal contribution in 27 games. Check up Cephas and Gray now. You cannot tell me because Cephas almost have the same amount of games as Demarai Gray. Cephas have
But Demarai Gray had more starts than Cephas as well, too, I think. You remember? Because he wasn't starting when he came in, you know. Remember when Demarai Gray was starting all those games on the High Mirror Grimsel, Cephas was rubbing the bench.
Yes, Cephas was rubbing the bench. I agree that Cephas was rubbing the bench. But you guys are saying that. Remember, you guys say since him start and thing, you know. Since him there starting and thing, him have more contribution than Demarai, which we just debunked a while ago in the couple match. So that they make your argument null and void.
Yeah, it's like Cephas is such a an enigma.
We look on Cephas. He's such a talent. We agree, he's a talent. We not no problem. He's a talent, but Cephas need to work on his IQ.
I don't think that's gonna be fixed though. I don't think that can get fixed. That's the problem. I don't think that can get fixed, man of God. It's like we have to just live with, because seeing him not improving, brother, it's just like we have to just live with that. And
so look, I'm not understand. We're willing to live with the man not improving when it costs me,
because he has something that you cannot. This is the dilemma right here. Man of God, he has something that you cannot teach. And if you look at all the games since the Unity Cup, every time you speak to fans and you ask the fans which player needs to come to the party for Jamaica to come out victorious in this game, the name that comes up, I haven't heard Demarai Gray, is Ronaldo Cephas.
No, anybody who watch Jamaica football, there's 2 players. One is the most important player for us, and one is the best player for us. Demarai Gray is the best player for us. Isaac Kidd is the most important player for us. Anybody who watch Jamaica football will know that. You cannot, because Demarai Gray in the recent times has not started because he has been absent, and to Cephas' credit, he come up and show up with his talent, but Cephas is an headache, is a problem, because the simple little things we are in the first.
1 second, man of God, let me answer this. Somebody says, I'm gonna read this here. So somebody says, JT, that's the wrong he's no enigma, JT. It's the wrong adjective. No, he's an enigma in the sense where enigma, right, is somebody who is a mysterious person that you can't understand. We cannot understand why he cannot improve, but yet still we need to have him out there. That's the problem, you know, in Firebrain. We that's why I'm saying he's an enigma. He's a player we can't understand why he can't improve, and he has the attributes. But some would say, I get what you're saying. Some would say he's a one-trick pony, but but in a way he's not, because he draw penalties. We see games where he was effective getting the ball into the box. We've seen signs that he can do those things, but he reverts back to his old self every time. So you're right in that sense as well. So you're kind of right. Even the statement is an enigma where me can't figure it out, bro. Me can't figure it out. Continue, man of God. It's just
Cephas. I see Cephas in the Guatemala game go down one side, and before him reach right at the top of the 18-yard back and square a perfect ball go right on what guy named Warner Brown head. Cephas can do it. I don't think Cephas know when to do it. I don't think Cephas either don't know when to do it or is not willing to do it, because I watch over a couple of the games.
But man of God, you also have to give him credit that though he's a one-trick pony, he's like a man who come and you play against a trick yard man and you just think you can beat him, but him always get the best of you. Because players, we know Cephas' problem, but yet he still causes problems for teams.
As somebody said, you would have said Iron Robin was a one-trick pony. Iron Robin was a one-trick pony, yes. But there's something to Iron Robin game. He could have finished. Cephas could have finished. Not a square. What are we go? What the base of how Cephas is played? Cephas supposed to have about 10 assists already. The man have 23 games for Jamaica. Demarai has 27. He has 23 games for Jamaica. And he has 2 goals. And Demarai 2 goals and 2 assists. No, man, he's supposed to be better, brother.
The fans are saying that I don't think you can look at Cephas as and Demarai Gray and let's bring back Unseen in and compare them when it comes on to statistics. Because I think they offer different things in the team. Because we saw Demarai Gray in that number 10 position for me doesn't light up the park either. He doesn't convince me. Unseen come in and then man of God can drop back in. We can't compare those two players with statistics. Your mic is muted, Unseen. Okay, I think continue man of God till Unseen figure this out.
Yeah, so you say I don't see Demarai Gray as a number 10.
Me neither.
He can drift in, yes, off the wings and try and open up some passing lane. Sorry. But I don't see him as a number 10. What you guys are saying, oh, Cephas can run. We agree he can run. But if you put Demarai Gray in the same position, he might not be as fast as a Cephas, but he's fast and he can put the ball. And I think people underestimate Demarai Gray's speed, you know. He can slow down a defender, pass the ball, go in and cut in. He can go both sides. He can go down the line, pass the ball in. He can square the ball. He can cut in and score a goal. I don't see if I'm doing that, none at all.
But I also have to say that Demarai Gray has also benefited from some of Cephas' runs in the team. We can agree, right? Because even those 2 goals that he scored, you know, against the US, those were all Cephas doing everything right and then him do the Cephas at the end, which is the foolishness.
I will agree with that. I agree with that. But how many times the Cephas do that thing? Going up the road, kicking the ball. When he kick the ball, it's weak.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good shot. He's not making good contact with the ball. And that's where, listen, so that's where I'm saying, man of God, this is where I'm confused. It's like you as a player, bro, and you see your weakness. You're off season. That's where you work on. Cephas is still not making good contact with the ball. I'd never see Cephas cut in and fire off a solid shot right out of the bootlace for Jamaica. He always kick the ball and the ball kind of like just dribble past the goal or just fumble off it. You know what I mean? He never makes good impact with the ball.
That's why I said, yes, Cephas is fast. But if I have a player who has armor, not quite as fast, but fast anyway in a Demarai Gray, but he can give me a perfect shot after can go either both sides, can either drift in, can do all our Cephas can do, and do basically our Cephas can do. why would I drop him
I,
instead of Cephas?
yeah, and I
Put
agree
a man
with.
who can do the same thing.
Listen to this comment here, man of God, by Firebrain, because I agree with Firebrain. The only thing is, I just don't think it's gonna happen. He said, I think Dixon could convert to a number 10. I said that. I said that Dixon, to me, is somebody who can take the ball, run at people, and he will track back. And his playing style, Dixon's playing style fits the way Jamaica play. Those fast break, quick pounds, quick transition. Get up and down the field. But I don't think he's a out and out winger for me.
We in the number 10 position, you will have to have. I don't see Dix as a number 10 per se, but as a second striker, which is consider as a number 10.
Kind of number 10. You see what I mean? Like 10 falls 9, like ish.
Yeah, but he's not a 10-10.
Yeah.
Like
he's like a Bobby. You know, say he's like a Bobby Reed. You know that he's like a Bobby Reed, where in a way he's like a utility. But to me, as I said, the position where he played, because he was playing with Reed at Arnett Garden, right? Reed was the main striker, and he kind of sat behind Reed. That's what he was doing at Arnett when he was there, right?
Yeah. But I think Bobby Reed have more to in game more than that, but that can come with experience as well. So.
As well. But to me, Dixon, that energy, that live wire thing, I think I would, to me, personally, I would start Dixon over Casey Palmer. Because Dixon is actually more skillful than a Casey Palmer. One thing Dixon has really improved on since he got to England, he has no problem getting past his man. This player, he's the defender. He passes defenders now with ease. If you watch the highlights from Crawley Town, or is it Crawley Town in there?
Yeah, Crawley Town.
Yeah, if you watch him highlights from Crawley Town, brother, you see it, and I see it every game. He has no problem getting past whoever is in front of him. Casey Palmer struggles with that. You know, what Casey Palmer has though is Casey Palmer understands the role. It's just his attributes or his talent just hasn't come to fruition to maximize his potential in that role.
In art, when I say this, if you realize in the game, the last part of the game, when he was playing, the coach switch a formation to a 4-2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If Jamaica is going to play a 4-2-2, yes, I see Dixon as that second striker. You have to have a play. And I don't see Jamaica change into a 4-2-2.
No,
I don't see that.
Yeah,
So I don't want to say I rate Dixon. I rate him energy. I rate how he plays. But I don't see Dixon for now playing that number 10 position as well to want him to play, because he's not quite an out-and-out number 10. He's a second striker. In second striker, and how he move and where the position that he pick up. So I don't see him as a number 10. With Palmer now, I would pick Palmer as a number 10, yes, in the type of formation and system that we have. However, Palmer would be on the bench for me. The number 10 that I would keep is Bobby Reed. With Bobby Reed, have the same energy, know how to link up.
Bobby Reed got 1 minute.
Where to pick up the spaces, and he's defensively sound.
Yeah, listen, so, I Bobby Reed, he got 1 minute this weekend, and I'm gonna let you finish off the show with your point. We're going up to the 2 hour mark, because during our discussion, man of God, have you noticed that we have come to a conclusion about a lot of things? We have come to the conclusion that, bro, we have these players who are good at something somewhere on the field, but they just don't, they're not the finished product based on what the position requires. You notice that?
Yes. Yes.
It's like we talked about, look for the people. We talk about Cephas. Him give the speed down the wing, but him can't kick the ball. Him can't go in and shoot it. Demarai Gray can shoot it, but at the number 10, he doesn't convince you. Casey Palmer has the IQ to play the midfield, but he doesn't do that. Dixon has the energy and that false 9 ability, but he's not necessarily a striker and he's not necessarily a number 10. But it's like we have discovered that all our players, they lack that thing to just nail down a specific position. Like a Tyrese Campbell to me is a complete player. He might not be elite, but Tyrese Campbell to me reminds me of how I learned to play wing. You know that when defensively, you track back with everything you got. When your team is breaking, you up the pitch. Like to me, there's nothing else I want from Tyrese Campbell other than consistency. I think he's a complete player in that wing
Tyrese
position.
Campbell is future, man. Tyrese Campbell is future.
Yeah.
Very future.
So just put everything in a suitcase and zip it up, I'll make we hear what you have, man of God, based on everything we discussed. And just going forward, what are you looking for the next squad? And just you know how to put the crescendo.
The next window, I hope the coach did this one thing, and I think if the coach know that his system is live and die on that person. If you can do, get a person who can, for the first game, who can do a similar job to an Isaac Hayden in that midfield, I think we will win Curacao. The next thing, we need to get back some of the ball. I don't know why everybody want dash with everybody. Dash with somebody ball there, but we need to get back some. And when we get that midfield, I don't feel we have a midfield problem. We have a selection problem and a injury problem, I feel. If we can get back some of our players off injury and farm in time for the World Cup qualify against Curacao, I think we'll be fine. I feel Jamaica has the talent to go to the top at this stage, not counting the persons who not come yet, but at this stage, Jamaica has the talent to go to the top. So for me, if we can get those persons in and get the team playing how we know, and at this point, I don't think chemistry is a problem. I feel injury and farm is a problem. And picking those players on farm at the right time, we should be, if we can do that, we should be all right and going forward. People need to take out this thing out of their head. Jamaica is not going to play no tiki-taka football, not for now, but not going to play no tiki-taka football and keeping possession of the ball. Jamaica is a transition team. If you realize Jamaica tend to move the ball quick if they do not get it, they pass what they want to move forward quickly. They tend to hold on the ball till they can get that pass going forward. Once they get that ball going forward, they're gonna go straight to box. That's why I feel like Cephas not gonna be the one to be there to get me that, because we either gonna need to cut back the ball on the D, cut back the ball, square the ball across to get more goals. Like a Camacho can do that stuff. But otherwise from that, if the coach can fix that back up to Hayden, we're gonna be fine and we're all right for the next window. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very much, man of God. Unseen, bless yourself. There you have it from man of God, people. Let me just give you my analysis on the next window. I think Jamaica needs to get the maximum points, and we just put this one in the bag, sit on 12 points, And because, you know, one thing you don't want to do, drop points the next window and we start having, what is the word I'm looking for? Doubts start creeping in. We don't want doubts start creeping in again either. So I think we go to Curacao. I do think it's going to be a tough game because we're playing on the AstroTurf there. It's also very problematic. A lot of our players in England don't play on the AstroTurf. That's something that they're going to have to adapt to rapidly. I've played on AstroTurf before, and the ball moves differently. Somebody might pass you the ball, and a ball that naturally rolls to you on the grass, and you think that you're going to get it, it's out of bounds. You know, so it start messing with the psyche of players. I remember playing a game on AstroTurf, and the team that I was playing with, we pick up about 4, but I was the best player on my team that day, because even the coach from the next team was asking me, you know, what's my plans with football and stuff, because our team was just getting run all over. And we just start take the ball and I say, what? First me I play upon AstroTurf, it feels sweet if you play upon it. You know, me just start fire after the goal, just play my game, because everybody on my team they were just used to playing on grass and they didn't adapt very quickly. It's a very tricky thing to play with. And after that, I've played on AstroTurf. After that, where I struggled. On AstroTurf. I'm going too fast, and by the time I try to stop to come back at the ball pass. Another thing, your passes on AstroTurf needs to be accurate, because when you run past, and if your teammate passed the ball slightly behind you, you're not coming back to get that ball. And Curacao has a lot of experience playing on AstroTurf. So that's something that's why it might be a little tricky thing. Let me just take another call here from Sean Blake. I was supposed to just give my final analysis there, but let's just hear what Sean Blake is saying before here. Let me get Sean Blake on. We just hear from Sean Blake, and we just finish my my take on that. Sean Blake, you come like them people who come and shop when shop a lock. Big up yourself though. What says you?
Hey, may I have a quick question for you?
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do with Bobby Reid?
I think for me, all right, he got 1 minute, I think, last weekend, and we expect him now to start playing a role with this Leicester team, because Leicester is a bit, they're struggling. I think they drew that game 2-2. Bobby Reid, though, when he starts getting back his form, if he's not playing well, when he gets back his form, he comes in for Casey Palmer for me, because he's gonna give us the work rate defensively, and he does have the ability to score, and we will take it from there. What about you?
So I say exactly the same thing. I'm like, the only place I can see him playing right now would be in the midfield. And we talk about attributes, like we say, okay, we want this player or we want that player, and then somebody might say, well, what is the attribute that that player has that would be attractive to the squad? For me, Bobby Reid, we need the work rate in the midfield.
Yeah,
We have Isaac here. Yeah, so we lack that a whole lot right now. We have Isaac Hayden, who is stable. I would love to see his heat map, because I don't think he moves around much. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's just his way of anchoring the midfield.
Discipline.
Yes. And it kind of reinforces the structure of the team. We also have John Russell, who sometimes you might get a high work. Well, I'm not even going to say a high work rate.
I think John Russell's performance is based on the role the coach want him to play.
The role that they give him to play, which is what I don't understand. I think when he's given the opportunity to push forward more,
yes,
I think we get a better work rate from him.
I think me and you, I think we're on the same key here. That's it. Whenever he plays that role where the coach tried to get him to disrupt plays high up the park and get into the box, I think that's when we see the best of John Russell for me.
Anytime we play that double pivot, he is absolutely trash.
Lost.
With the exception that him disappear and then him just appear and score. If it wasn't for him just appearing from out of nowhere and score, we would be crucifying him.
Yeah, he would have got it. Yeah,
But-
belt buckle dynamics.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I think whether it be with John Russell or not, I don't think Jamaica has ever looked good playing that double pivot, Bridgeton. I think it should just be Isaac Hayden alone playing that single pivot role, and we have John Russell doing what he does, which is pushing forward, and we have Bobby Reid with the high work rate. Really, for me, 3 persons have to go fight for one midfield spot, and it's Bobby Reid, Gray, and Palmer. And I really don't know which one of them have the edge right now, to be honest with you. So that's just what I wanted to.
And you hit on a
kinda
good
say.
point. You know what, too? Bobby Reid comes back into the team. He now creates competition on the left with Demarai Gray and Ronaldo Cephas. Because if he sits
Yeah.
in for Casey Palmer in that 10, Demarai Gray now has to play well on the left with a Ronaldo Cephas. Those two is going to have to duel that out.
Yeah, and then knowing this coach, he might not even play him in midfield at all. I think if it ever comes to the point where Leon Bailey is not available for whatever reason, I think he's gonna play Bobby Reid like out wide instead of Tyrese Campbell. But I think Bobby Reid needs to be in that midfield. Like
But
you
even
said,
if he
just
does
to
that,
create
then
some
Tyrese
competition.
Campbell, even if he does that, Tyrese Campbell start competing with Ronaldo Cephas for game on that left-hand side. So you see where Bobby Reid comes in and causes a lot of disruption in a good way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious regarding Bobby Reid, and I've always been curious regarding this Bobby Reid thing, because it doesn't matter if I know or then Virgin, he just doesn't seem to have an identity. For me, he doesn't appear to be a winger. He doesn't appear to be a striker. He doesn't appear to be a midfielder. He doesn't appear to be like, I just don't know the identity of this enigma called Bobby Reid, which sometimes it's a good thing, because sometimes we just need him to be that utility player because we are a shorter player. So sometimes we just need him for his work rate and just the fact that he is a utility player. But now that the squad is building and extra pieces are popping up and persons are stating their claim to certain positions, I kind of want Bobby Reid to take on an identity.
It's too late. He hasn't taken on an identity his entire career. And I agree with you. Where he is this, but what he does is he gives coaches a lot of options for coaches to be able to tweak their formation. Let's say hypothetically Isaac Hayden goes down. John Russell can play that position. He's not gonna give you what Isaac Hayden gives you. And then Casey Palmer goes box to box. Bobby Reid goes 10. Again, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, that's a scenario. Ronaldo Cephas goes down. You don't have a Leon Bailey. Tyrese Campbell slips over on the left. Bobby Reid falls perfectly on the right. So he gives you a multitude of options. And based on his versatility, I think that's what he brings. But he will never get an identity. Bobby Reid is that guy that is like, he's healthy for your dressing room. When he's out there, he gives you his all. But you just don't know what he's good at.
Yeah. But right now, there's a lot of conversation that's going on regarding who we should have in the squad and which new players we should recruit. I mean, I think this team is 2 midfielders away from being a good team.
I agree. You're spot on. You're firing tonight, bro. You're spot on tonight. Every single point that you've made tonight is just like it's on it. It's on it.
We need somebody to compete with Isaac. So we need a CDM that's one position, and we need.
And I wouldn't say compete. Would you want to say compete or somebody understudy?
So here is why I'm gonna say compete.
Okay.
Here's why I'm gonna say compete. I think given how fragile the player is, I don't think having a young understudy would be the way to go. Brandon cover is what some persons were saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't think having a young understudy would be the way to go because, let's say, for example, I don't think he can play on a turf, and we are about to play on a turf. And I don't want to start no conspiracy, but if I were him, I'm not saying he did this, but if I were him, I would have intentionally picked up a second yellow card so that I'm not going to play on the turf.
I was concerned about that. I think, you know what's the crazy thing is? I think I don't start Isaac Hayden in that game. To be honest, I think
He's not going to start. He's out on cards, right? Yes.
Yes, I think Kevin Lambert.
Yes.
And I think that game is Joshan Anglin or Kevin Lambert in that game. You have nothing to lose with those two guys. You know.
Yeah, but so we need somebody to compete with him, and we need another midfielder, Bridget. We need a real 10 or a real box-to-box, because what is John Russell? Is he a box-to-box or is he a CDM? I mean, I've heard him say that he can play both. In fact, he said that he can play all 3 positions. But on the field, he doesn't give me that impression. So he's kind of coming across as a midfield Bobby Reed to some extent. But we need another midfielder that is either an outright box-to-box or, you know, an outright 10. And I think if we can get those 2 midfielders, I think Jamaica would be in a very good position to compete with the best in CONCACAF, or even, you know, put up a good fight once we do get to this World Cup.
Wow. Thank you very much, Sean Blake. Let's hear from you more when we get closer to the window. All right?
Yeah, man.
All right, we appreciate it. Yeah, man. People, that was Sean Blake. That was on point. His points tonight were... I'm going to take one more call. Somebody's calling me from a random number. The show was supposed to end, but you come like the people. Lucky thing me get some rest. Me sleep already, so... what time is it here? The time is on the screen. Yeah, 2:30 a.m. in Scandinavia right now. Let me just take this final call here before we can get this going. Let's just hear from this caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yo, General.
This episode, my boss.
Yeah. So, keep on listening to the show, right? And we hear Chucking Boss attack earlier on. But my saying is that Daniel Johnson played some good ball down in Turkey.
Yeah.
And for me, what Jamaica's team right now, whenever we lose, like how we lose Stacey Palmer, Isaac Hayden, you know, out of the midfield. You know, even though we lose them 2 balls there, we have as option now coming into 15 to play the role. You know, that role level we can pick some pass. You know, Daniel Johnson is not the fastest, but yeah, him can pick some pass.
But that's what we did talk about with maybe, that's what we're talking about now. Bobby Reed coming back in, Demarai great potentially at 10. And I think why I wouldn't go Daniel Johnson right now, I think we keep our options open right there to continue to find that next piece. Because the player where you're asking about that we don't have, that's the part of the missing. That's a missing part of the puzzle for this Jamaica team right now. That the question where you present, that question mark is part of getting Jamaica to have a complete midfield. But I just don't think Daniel Johnson is the guy to bring it full circle. However, you might be alluding to the fact that he can be a short-term solution. Is that where you're going?
Right. Well, yeah, because even notice our 2 games them, want to make a change in the second half. We team still open up. We can't make 5 passes together or even 10 passes. You notice that. We team still open up. The midfield still open. So we need somebody to come in the team we can knock on the ball a little bit. You know, maybe if you give him a 90-minute game, maybe a 10-minute or so. You know,
let me ask you this, Carla. Let me ask you this because when Daniel Johnson was in the team, we saw what Jaime Hallgrimsey was trying to do. We were trying to at least keep a little bit more position. But based on how we team are playing now, we team is a quick strike transition team. Get up the park very quickly. It's not necessarily knock it around. My concern, does Daniel Johnson have the legs and the engine to carry out the role they feel?
Well, not the start, but we need somebody to close out the game. As like me I say, we when we take out KC Palmer out of the game, even that night we look on it, Isaac Eden did need a second beside him where we can help him knock the ball or some tackling. You know, because whenever time you watch Isaac Eden in the last 85, when it comes to 85 to 70 minutes, his stamina kind of cut down a little bit. So
he's a 60 minute, 55 to 60 minute him give you. That's it.
Right. And he start to have a chase and him have some lunge, some low lunge. You know, when it can be reckless at times, but that get a red card. But my next thing is that we can find 2 good midfielders out of Jamaica to put in the team. Because if there is the Premier League go on, we must can find 2 solid midfielders out of the Premier League. We don't have 2 solid players in the Premier League right now. We can fit in our team.
No, that we ask about that. They talk about the kid Ellis at Racing. But the thing is right now is, I think we passed that stage there, Cash. I think we passed that stage there if we try a local player right now. I think the ball game just gone. Yeah. Them have to go catch the plane for the next flight. You know what I mean? Like we're with the team there right now. We need another top level player coming in. I don't think we can really experiment right now with a JPL player in that position.
Okay, but we still have a midfield problem. You know, we still haven't solved the midfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't. We haven't.
Now Richard, 2 of this main man in our midfield. You know, now we have to go make up.
K-Roy Anderson looked very good in these 2 games, I have to say. Looked very composed on the ball. I think he comes in.
Yeah, but at times him have a little bit of carried away at times where he made some tackle where it cost the team as well. And him can work. Hopefully him stood out in the next game or come around if them choose him to start, and we see.
All right.
Hopefully, we think we can leave Ethan Pinnock out of this game. We don't need Ethan Pinnock.
Yeah. I think he might just come back and disrupt things right now, brother.
Yeah, because you see the last call up them saying injury, right?
Yeah, but no, he had a solid game this weekend, bro. He was solid this weekend against Chelsea.
Solid game. Yeah, he played a good game this week. So my thing is that why was he before he didn't take the call up, he said he injured. And now you come out and play a good game.
Belt Bucker Bar says something, right? Belt Bucker Bar says something on the show there. I may agree with him and it's sound, but it's one of the first window when me alright with some of them players that say them injured for stay at them yard, brother. If you tell you the truth. Like,
Yeah, you know,
maybe we wouldn't, maybe we didn't even look so.
Time.
Yeah, maybe we wouldn't look how we look that window, yeah, brother.
Really, you know, at times, you know, we don't like the effort that him put out when him come and him do start. Him just look, you know, too tender. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mistake,
No
bro.
aggression. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have to be aggressive. If you are playing an English league every week, and when a man turn on the TV and look, the first man them a look for, you know, a you as a yard man, if the yard man a start, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when him out there, he represent. But when they come to the national team, it's like a water, you know what I mean? No little effort and like, you know, the last game how we lose when they play, when him go, him skip out or tackle, you know what I mean? As much as all, you know, Isaac Eden now skip out of that in a challenge like that. He might put him foot in it. He must now put him foot to hurt himself, but he might go play the ball, you know? But for real, General, good calling to your show.
Yeah, man. Just me save your number, man. Yeah, well, next time, you know, when we start get closer to the ball game again, you know, you just call in back and we check in back and see the progress from this. Not true?
Yeah, man. I always listen to your show, man. But sometimes when the live thing I go on, I drive and you know sometimes you have to pay attention on the road.
Yeah. Me know the chat, man.
Me just stop and say, no, I try look up the number on WhatsApp. Can me even try sending a message?
Yeah, man, the number up on the screen, you know. The number is always pinned in the comment section too.
Yeah, that the number me take off and something, but you know, at first you know connect. But I guess me have to.
You have to put the plus, the Scandinavia, you have to put the plus before it.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, man, we check in here. Drive safe, my boss. All right, cool. Yeah, man, people, that was Cash. Let me see, Moby boss has been calling. Let me just, bro, if we end the show all long, you know, brother. If we end the show all long. Let me just call back Moby boss, because I don't want him to say, me nah take him call. Let me just call back Moby boss quick and fast. And see if we are giving 5 minutes, people. Because I'm going to chat some foolishness now, too, you know. Yeah, my youth, the show, if you turn off, you know, dog, and you call the show and the show in. What's going on? Just, you.
I try to call before the last caller, bro.
Yeah, but you always a call upon the next phone, brother. That I'm a personal phone, so sometimes that the phone there, because me have some studio monitors, yes, so that the phone they static out the monitor them, so me has to put it one side more time. So you have to always call upon this. But go ahead, enough on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, you're talking about Bobby Reid and the players who will be absent for Curacao game. Once Bobby Reid is fit...
No, Bobby Reid will be back for the Curacao game.
Right. So, it's not a question for me. I like Bobby Reid in my team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Bobby Reid bring grit, he bring passion, leadership. Sometimes a player don't have to be flamboyant, you know. And it's our natural mindset as Jamaicans. We like flamboyant players. Bobby Reid is not that. He bring the glue to the team. And it's always a case where all the coaches use a player like Bobby Reid. Why sometimes we think him look last in the game, right? But Bobby Reid is a key player to the team.
I agree.
Very instrumental.
To me, out of all of the players they're missing right now, Bobby Reid is one of the most key players to be coming back.
Yeah. He brings energy, right? He brings experience. And you're right, we don't need to experiment with a local player right now. Even though
no, right now.
yeah, we know the talent are there. But what it's sports is psychology. When an opponent go up against a JPL player will make him debut. Before the game even start, the opponent will win the game at their mind. Because who is he? Where is he from? You get me? Sports is psychology, so you have, and also the teammates now will be more familiar with somebody who is already established and respect. It sounds harsh, but that's how sports is. Sports is played in a mind. You know, and when you're a midfielder, you are supposed to be able to command the respect of your teammates to get the ball, right? Because you are playing a crucial position on the field, midfield. You get me? So, no, we can't experiment with a JPL player right now.
No.
We have to go with an experienced player like Bobby Reed or Demarai.
I agree.
And Madazil was injured. That's why he wasn't called for the last run.
That's what I heard. I expect him to. We need to get the coach need to give that player a good run. I think a player like that as well could be effective in the Curacao game on the turf.
I think so too. I'm gonna reach out to my source, who you know that is already, and ask him what's the latest with Madazil.
Yeah.
Because he definitely, and with Ian Frey, from what I'm hearing, why we might be in for a shocker. We might lose him to USA.
USA is not calling Ian Frey, but go ahead. Me bet any money we may not have. So USA is not calling Ian Frey. You know why? If USA was gonna call Ian Frey, you see after Ian Frey played in the CONCACAF Champions League, he would have got called up for all of these friendly games. Remember, so USA has been playing friendlies, because they qualify already. So when would they call him? You know what I mean? Not when things start get heat up. Ian Frey would have gotten called up already. Ian Frey is the last thing on Pochettino's mind right now, because Pochettino is under pressure too, bro. He's looking for more quality.
So you don't think Frey is that quality you need?
Not for the US. The US team is bigger than Ian Frey. I'm being genuinely honest. Ian Frey doesn't even start in a Jamaica team, brother.
Really?
Ian Frey is not even a starter for Jamaica right now, personally. So I don't know how he makes the US team.
I see him as a good quality player.
Yeah, he's decent. Nothing special. But Moby boss, the next show when we get close to the thing, you just call in early. No, not too early. Because I have to tell you not too early. Because your man call all when the show just start. Like, you see me? So what we do is, because sometimes what I always do is I call in and the show is ending and I not get to give them time. I like to catch up back on it. So when we get back close to the ball game and when the things start heat up, I make sure I touch base with you, see?
All right,
take it easy, man. All right, drive safe. Yeah, man, that was, let me just finish my take on that. Yeah, Ian Frey, whatever, man. Ian Frey, do you, bro. If you show up, like, you need Jamaica more than Jamaica needs you right now, to be honest. At the end of the day, and Jamaica is not, as Chris P always says, Jamaica is not doesn't have that much leverage on players where we're not supposed to beg. But I will not be begging for Ian Frey to play for Jamaica. I promise you that. I think we're going to get there with or without him. If he wants to be a part of it and get on board on what we got going, his sister plays for the national team, would have been perfect. But hey, Ian Frey, we won't be keeping a concert or a rally to pick up funds to fund you coming here. We don't, JT personally, I don't really care, mate. If you show up, you show up, man. You know what I mean? So big up everybody who came to, he's on the US trip. Patrick Riley, I'm not even going to get into that, bro. Ian Frey, as I said, Ian Frey is not on any radar. He's not even on the Russian or the Ukrainian radar. He's not on any radar, brother. The only radar Ian Frey is on is FEMA radar. You see me, I say? But people, it was a good show. We did it for 2.5 hours. Wanted to keep it for around 2 minutes. But the last couple of callers were pretty good. I think Sean Blake, Man of God tonight, Unseen. We kicked it off with Cryptic. The show was seamless with the callers tonight. I'm not lie, the callers them tonight. The callers them deserve. I think this show tonight was all about Trucking Boss as well. Trucking Boss has become one of the most famous callers now on this channel. Trucking Boss and Belt Bucker Boss. I think those two callers are leading the race right now. And sometime Crispy as well. Trucking Boss, Crispy, and we have some good callers. We have Mikhail, we have Mark Alon. We're missing a lot of people though. I'm missing some name. People, if I forget your name, it's no hard feelings. But, right now, Trucking Boss, Belt Buckle Boss, them, and Crispy, them are lead the calling race right now. them man, they fire up the thing whenever them show up. Especially Trucking Boss has been on fire this window. Me not lie. Trucking Boss has been on fire this window. Him bring a different energy. Him just talk the football, how him see it. And he's watching the game. He might not be right, but he brings something to the show as well because he makes callers want to take him on. And that's how my show is. My show is you're not going to get babysit over here. You come and you start talk. I'm going to bring somebody on the line and you have to go defend your point. I remember the last show we had a good duo. Ghost One Son as well. Big up yourself, Ghost. How can I forget Ghost One Son? Ghost One Son, he might be more in style, but Ghost One Son, them add flavor to the show as well. Totally forgot. And I know I'm forgetting some other people. If I forget, it's just, there's a lot of things on the agenda. Big up Marvin. Somebody asked about Rico Henry. My thing is, people, I don't care if Mason Greenwood come to the forward to play in the team right now. But for me, what I've seen from Rico Henry this weekend, he had a little cameo off the bench. Bro, Rico Henry helped Brentford get a draw against Chelsea. Brother, Rico Henry, I didn't even know that Rico Henry can even slide into the midfield, invert a little bit, even as a wingback. Bro, I saw Rico Henry came on the field and took the ball in his own 18-yard box and run past defenders into the opponent's 18-yard box. Jamaica doesn't have that, bro. We don't have a wingback who can take the ball from full 18 to the opponent's 18. I seen Rico Henry did that against Chelsea this weekend. I think that Jamaica needs Rico Henry. I think Rico Henry at the left back position for Jamaica, we improved by like 20%. I swear down. I'm not really overhyped players, because I'm not frightened for players. Rico Henry, which league is he in? Rico Henry is in the Premier League, bro. You see me? Rico Henry is in the Premier League. Bro, Rico Henry. Bro, I'm telling you, I've always heard the name. I've seen him in little spells in game. Bro, I seen him this weekend. I don't really hype players. You see me? I don't really hype players. But Rico Henry, bro. Rico Henry at the left back for Jamaica. People dead in a CONCACAF. May I tell you, bro. Rico Henry. Rico Henry, do the right thing. You're never getting called for England, mate. You're not even a starter at Brentford. Do the right thing. Coach McClaren, I swear down. Rico Henry. We don't care if Mason Greenwood forward in the team. Coach McClaren, Rico Henry, bro. I seen the guy this weekend. He has something. He's different. When he's running with the ball, he looks like a winger running with the ball. You see me? Like he can invert into the midfield and create that overload. Bro, I'm telling you, he's something else for Jamaica. He's not that special in the Premier League. I'm putting it in the context of CONCACAF and Jamaica. Rico Henry, bro. Rico Henry. I'm telling you, that guy, he has the juice, man. He can do it. He's like, bro. He takes the ball in the opponent's 8 from his own 18. Brother, we don't see that for Jamaica. Amari Bell is make it. It's okay. Don't have to stress it. Okay. All right, Devon Porter. Make it happen, bro. Rico Henry. Because you see, Devon, me don't really care about all the other big names them when people are called. I care about the players that I think Jamaica needs currently and the players who can impact Jamaica immediately. Bro, Rico Henry, I think he can adapt to CONCACAF like the first game, brother. Because his game is not complicated. He's strong on the ball. He defends very well. Bro, if you can, I wish there was a way you could go back and watch when he came on the field for Chelsea, right? Bro, he came down on the field. Pedro Neto was devastating against Brentford. Bro, Pedro Neto just coming, whipping it into the box. Brother, you see when Rico Henry come on the field, me ask my brethren, I say, Me no remember, did Pedro Neto finish the game or them sub him off? Because, bro, it look like Rico Henry just put him in his back pocket. Rico Henry just put Pedro Neto in his back pocket. Like, Pedro Neto just disappear off the football field. Like, bro, I'd never seen this. Like, Neto was devastating, bro. He might give Brentford problem the whole game. Because I watched that game from start to finish. Bro, Rico Henry came on. Pedro Neto didn't get one more cross in the box. He made one dribble. And Mr. Rico Henry just turned. Rico Henry did the perfect defender technique. He just had the, you know, when you have an open stance as a defender. So if the winger goes left, you can go left. If him go right, you can go right. Or you can square up and go straight on. That's how they teach you defending. They want you to have an open stance like this while tracking back. When you see defenders get turned, it's because the defender is just very side on. You cannot be too side on. Because if you're too side on and the player make a swift move, you then have to turn back. And if the player go this direction and this direction, they turn you. That's what they call when a player spin you. Rico Henry had the perfect stance, that half mass, where he's just tracking back like this. Neto has to just turn it back inside. Jamaica needs that player, bro. We need that player, brother. You notice I don't come out calling for English-based players anymore. It doesn't really matter. I'm just supporting the team. Brother, Rico Henry, bro. We need that guy in the team. We need Rico Henry in the team. Jamaica need Rico Henry right now in the team more than we need Jamaica need Rico Henry in the team right now more than, okay, yeah, I was just too close to the microphone. Sorry, I got too excited. But yeah, Jamaica need Rico Henry more than we need Mason Greenwood right now. I swear down, bro. Rico Henry would add a new dimension from the wing-back position for Jamaica, bro. I swear. The last time Jamaica I seen a wing-back like that was like Demarai Phillips. Like the last time I see a wing-back like that, and he's a better version of Demarai Phillips, was Demarai Phillips for Jamaica. So Rico Henry, bro. Devon Porter, like, I'm going to give you a phone call this week, and I need to get some, Devon, me need some real, concrete information about Rico Henry from you this week. Like, me need dates and times and when passport there and wagwan. Like, me need to know that. So I will give you a call this week, Devon Porter, and if this guy, that's where, like, if you never get any other player for Jamaica who no come, this is the player. Because we know you worked on Bailey Kadamachi. He was a good find. But Devon, I'm telling you, he's the money. Rico Henry. People, me love you know. A blessings, you know. A blessings and a respect to everybody who comes here and spend their quality time making the show for what it is. I think this week as well, I want to say I don't know about other YouTubers, but we don't spend a lot of time appreciating our subscribers and big up the subscriber them. Big up yourself, DJ Hothead. The talk of phone and chip out. Yeah, I'm too close. I'm too close to it. Yeah, this phone, so my other mic broke, you know, so this is a different kind of condenser mic, so it doesn't have the sensitivity as the other one, because the other one would just, you know, just cut down the volume on the audio. But this one, for some reason, doesn't do that. The levels, okay. It's still cutting out now? Is it still cutting out? It's because I was too close. Maybe I just need to move it away a slight bit. But yeah, we'll sort it out. Yeah, it will sort it out. It's because when you get too close to this microphone, it's not one of those sensitive microphones. You know, because my other microphone crashed out the other night. And that's an expensive microphone. That's like a $1,700 microphone. It's a Spirit. And it's gone. But people, I want to big up the subscribers. I know you guys are subscribed to all the channels. But I want to big you guys up because us YouTubers, we you know, we give ourselves credit, but you guys make the space what it is, bro. You see me I say? You guys make the space what it is. You see me? You guys make the space what it is. So big up to you guys. Big up to everybody who has been a part of the show tonight. Yeah, the microphone I cut out, people. That's my cue. All right? Stay blessed. All right? Until next time, folks.